Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. Infowarsstore.com.
You guys recall the situation that's going on in Flint, Michigan. The poison water up there, the poison in your tap water, everybody said, yeah, you guys are being sensational. Like, it's not sensational now is it? The Michigan governor has said he's going to drink Flint water every day for the next month. How they're going to make sure that he's getting his water from Flint, I don't know, but that's what he says he's going to do. And now they're saying they're actually filing criminal charges against 3 state and city workers. Felony and misdemeanor charges have been issued against 3 state and city employees in connection to the city's water crisis. One is accused of tampering with evidence when he allegedly changed testing results to show that there was less lead in city water than there actually was. He was also charged with willful neglect of office. And we see others are charged with misconduct in office, conspiracy to tampering with evidence, a treatment violation of the Michigan Safe Drinking Water Act, and a monitoring violation of safe drinking water. So these are things that you have to be aware of, because they're not going to tell you till it's too late. Think about this. This did not make national news until after people started dying. There are people actively, as we see in these allegations, in these reports, trying to keep this thing under wraps, whether you can justify it by saying that maybe they're trying to stop a public panic. It doesn't matter if you try to put a wrap on it. If, young children and infants are dying, people need to know what's in their drinking water. And of course, you're not going to know till it's too late. Now they have these publicity stunts. The governor says he's going to drink the water. But I'm very curious to see if people of Flint, you guys put out those videos when this first came out in the news stream of the dirty water, the brown water. If you guys still have dirty water at this day and age, make more YouTube videos. Send it to us, show tips at Infowars. I'd love to see if they've actually cleaned up the water out there, how clean it is. You can use various testing supplies. We sell some of them here in the Infowars shop to test your water, and just let us know how it's going out there. And it's not just Flint that has a health crisis, because it's not just the water, but everything we ingest, everything we breathe, including our air supplies. And if you live in the state of California, unfortunately for you, the results are out. You have some very dirty air. And they say most Americans live in areas with unhealthy levels of air pollution, a study finds. And they say if you go out to Los Angeles, Long Beach areas, they top the list, compiled by the American Lung Association for most ozone polluted areas in the nation. You also have Bakersfield at number 2 and Fresno at number 4. And they say that 8 out of 10 residents, 32 million people, live in counties with unhealthy levels of ozone. So definitely take this into account, because you see those videos, you go to China or other places, and you see those people walking around with the surgical mask. I don't know how long it's going to be until things get that way here. Hopefully they won't, but with all the pollution out there, it's very hard to tell when or if this thing will come to an end. Now, talking about coming to an end, is this the end of Bernie Sanders? Now, to be fair, I'm not a Sanders supporter, but I think Bernie has been having some votes and elections and other things stolen from the guy. And now we see this New York voter, Bernie Sanders supporters are being forced to vote for Hillary delegates. Basically, I don't have time to go into the video, but if you watch the video, the guy documents how when you go to the site or you go to the voter registration page, you have to vote for Hillary or Bernie. Of course you do, but you also have to vote for 6 delegates, 6. Now, Bernie has a total of 5 delegates, which means you can't vote for a straight ticket Bernie Sanders. You also have to vote for Hillary Clinton. And that's the type of fraud that they're slipping under the rug, hoping that you won't notice. Go watch that report. And also we'll end with this. 9/11 cover-up imploding as mainstream media is forced to report on a Saudi link. And with more on this, we have a special report from John Bound, and stay tuned right after that for more special reports right here on the Infowars Nightly News.
First class galley flight attendant and our pursers been stabbed. And we can't get the cockpit. The door won't open.
How should the U.S. respond to such a devastating?
Well, I think they have to respond quickly and effectively. They have to find out exactly what the cause was, who did it, and they have to go after these people because there is no other choice. Obviously, the war in Iraq is a big, fat mistake, all right? It took Jeb Bush, took him 5 days,
before his people told him what to say. And he ultimately said it was a mistake. The war in Iraq, we spent $2 trillion, thousands of lives. We don't even have it. Iran is taking over Iraq with the second largest oil reserves in the world. We have destabilized the Middle East.
On Monday, the Obama administration and the State Department said the release of the papers detailing Saudi involvement in the 9/11 attacks and its support for al-Qaeda would damage U.S. national security and endanger citizens living abroad. Both the Obama and Bush administrations have refused to release the papers stored in a guarded vault beneath Washington, D.C. The FBI has also refused to unseal the documents. It needs to be classified, former director of the FBI Robert S. Mueller said in a secret meeting. The White House has threatened to veto legislation that would release the documents. It's difficult to imagine a scenario where the president would sign it. White House spokesman Josh Earnest told reporters on Monday. He said the bill would jeopardize international sovereignty and put the U.S. at a significant risk. Obama allies on Capitol Hill, including an unnamed Republican senator, have vowed to prevent the Senate from taking up the Justice Against Sponsors of Terrorism Act. The bill would remove Saudi Arabia's immunity in federal court and allow victims of the 9/11 attacks to sue the kingdom.
Governor Bush.
How we doing? Good to see
All right,
you,
good. How you doing? I was wondering, would you be in favor of seeing the 28 pages that have been redacted from the 9/11 Commission report? Would you be wanting to see those released?
Yeah, I'd like to see them. You got them?
Well,
Andrea may have them.
Hopefully we can get them.
In order to have the bill move forward, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell would need to file procedural motions. 60 votes are required to have the bill move forward.
After 9/11, it was clear that the Congress was going to be called upon to conduct some form of an inquiry as to what happened. The decision by the leadership was to combine the intelligence committees of the House and the Senate into a single body. For the first time in the history of the Congress, that had occurred.
On April 10th, the former chairman of the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence and co-chair of the bipartisan Joint Congressional Inquiry into the 9/11 attacks, Bob Graham, told CBS News he believes Saudi Arabia was behind the attacks.
What I'm trying to tell you is, so what? We did not invent corruption.
Graham said support came from the Saudi government, charities, and rich people in the country. He said that support was downplayed because of the special relationship between the United States and the Saudi Arabian kingdom. The evidence is overwhelming. For example, here's Donald Rumsfeld chomping at the bit to keep the momentum of the New World Order's tyrannical soft war moving.
We haven't had an attack here in 5 years. Hell, the perception of the threat is so low in the society that it's not surprising that the behavior pattern reflects a low threat assessment. And the same thing is in Europe. There's a low threat perception. Correction for that, I suppose, is an attack.
Building 7, I often hear about. No plane hit Building 7. Why did Building 7 come down? What do you tell people?
What is Building 7?
Building 7.
I have no idea. I've never heard that.
We must never forget our fellow Americans that paid the ultimate price in a bid to end the American way, quarterbacked by a protected elite class now blackmailing the U.S. government by threatening to sell off $750 billion in U.S. assets. This obvious and inflated admission of guilt by the Saudis begs the question, how much are the 2,996 innocent fellow American lives that perished on 9/11-2001 worth to you?
What's going on, Betty? Betty, talk to me. Betty, are you there?
John Bound for Infowars.com.
Get Brainforce at 25% off for a limited time at InfowarsLife.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've been on this the last few months. You probably noticed I've been more crazed, more focused, less brain fog, more energy, more special reports, and it's because of Brainforce.
One of the worst things with most energy products is it's not sustainable, right? You're going to crash afterwards. And the cool thing about this is it's not just a bunch of energy compounds that are going to fire your brain up to a higher RPM or whatever, which it does do. This is sustainable. This isn't going to spike and you're going to collapse and you're going to feel really bad afterwards. afterwards. This has a bunch of different antioxidants and compounds and polyphenols.
Everybody's on these drugs to knock their brain out because the brain's so fried.
We're looking at the television screen for research purposes or whatever we're even doing, trying to learn something, or staring at the computer all day, working, doing good. You're still damaging your brain.
You will find Brain Force and other game-changing products at InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139.
Get Brain Force at 25% off for a limited time at InfoWarsLife.com. And we thank you for your support.